Historic milestone, SpaceX lands rocket off Bahamas coast for the first time. In a groundbreaking achievement for the space industry, SpaceX successfully landed a Falcon 9 rocket booster off the coast of the Bahamas for the first time. This historic event, which took place on, insert date, marks a significant milestone in the company's ongoing quest to revolutionize space travel through reusability and efficiency. As part of a mission carrying a new batch of Starlink satellites, the Falcon 9 first-stage booster executed a precision landing on the autonomous drone ship Just Read the Instructions, stationed in the Atlantic Ocean near the Bahamas. This achievement further cements SpaceX's position as the global leader in commercial spaceflight and signals an expansion of its landing and recovery capabilities. A game-changing moment in spaceflight. For nearly 2 decades, SpaceX has been at the forefront of space innovation, pioneering advancements in rocket reusability, satellite technology, and interplanetary exploration. This latest accomplishment, successfully landing a rocket off the Bahamas, adds another chapter to the company's legacy of firsts. Historically, SpaceX has relied on 2 primary drone ships for ocean landings, Of Course I Still Love You and Just Read the Instructions, which are typically stationed in the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. However, the decision to land a booster in the Bahamas signals an important expansion of SpaceX's operational footprint. This achievement is more than just a technical success, it represents a strategic shift that could significantly improve efficiency, reduce costs, and accelerate the pace of satellite deployments for the company's Starlink program and beyond. Why the Bahamas? The strategic importance of this landing. SpaceX carefully selects its rocket landing sites based on a combination of mission requirements, orbital trajectories, fuel constraints, and recovery logistics. The Bahamas emerged as an ideal landing zone for this mission due to several key factors. 1. Reduced travel time for boosters. Landing closer to the launch trajectory means the booster doesn't need to burn excess fuel to return to an existing landing site, making recovery more efficient. The Bahamas' location in the Atlantic aligns well with common SpaceX launch paths, offering an optimized landing solution. 2. Expansion of landing zone options. With an increasing number of Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy missions launching every month, having additional recovery locations allows SpaceX to manage its fleet more effectively. A third major landing zone in the Atlantic gives the company greater flexibility in handling multiple missions simultaneously. 3. Strategic access for Starlink deployment. The Bahamas is situated in a region where Starlink satellite coverage is rapidly expanding. By landing a rocket in this location, SpaceX is positioning itself to more efficiently serve markets in the Caribbean, Latin America, and parts of the southeastern United States. 4. Favorable ocean conditions. Unlike the rougher seas farther north in the Atlantic, the waters near the Bahamas tend to be calmer, making it an ideal location for precision booster landings. The relatively stable conditions reduce the risk of damage to both the booster and the drone ship during recovery operations. Inside the mission, Starlink's expanding constellation. The primary payload of this mission was a new batch of Starlink satellites, part of SpaceX's ambitious effort to build a global satellite internet network. What is Starlink? Starlink is a constellation of low Earth orbit, LEO, satellites designed to provide high-speed internet access to remote and underserved areas worldwide. With thousands of satellites already in orbit, Starlink has transformed connectivity in regions where traditional broadband infrastructure is either unavailable or unreliable. How Starlink is changing global internet access. Since its initial rollout, Starlink has made a significant impact in several key areas. Disaster response. After natural disasters like hurricanes and wildfires, Starlink has provided emergency internet access to affected communities and first responders. Rural connectivity. Many rural areas in North America, Africa, and Asia have gained high-speed internet for the first time through Starlink. Military and government use. Starlink has played a crucial role in military operations, notably in Ukraine, where it has provided secure, resilient communications during the ongoing conflict. With this latest launch, SpaceX has added more satellites to its ever-growing network, enhancing coverage, reducing latency, and preparing for future advancements like Starlink direct-to-cell, which will allow satellite-based cellular connectivity. The Falcon 9, SpaceX's workhorse rocket. The Falcon 9 rocket has become the backbone of modern space travel, launching everything from Starlink satellites to NASA astronauts and interplanetary probes. This mission showcased Falcon 9's most defining feature, its ability to land and be reused multiple times, drastically reducing the cost of access to space. Key features of Falcon 9's reusability. First stage recovery and reuse. The Falcon 9 booster that landed off the Bahamas can now be refurbished and used for future missions. Some boosters have already been reused over 20 times. Autonomous drone ship landings. SpaceX has perfected the art of landing rockets on floating platforms in the ocean, making it possible to recover boosters from a wider range of mission profiles. Advanced landing technology. Using grid fins, engine burns, and precision navigation, the Falcon 9 booster can pinpoint its landing with remarkable accuracy. This mission further demonstrates the effectiveness of SpaceX's reusability strategy, a key component of its long-term vision for space travel. Challenges and triumphs of ocean landings. Although SpaceX has made booster landings appear routine, each landing presents unique challenges. Landing a rocket on a moving drone ship in the ocean is vastly more complex than landing on solid ground. Challenges of landing at sea. Weather conditions, strong winds and ocean currents can affect the stability of the drone ship. Precise navigation. The Falcon 9 booster must autonomously adjust its trajectory in real time to ensure a pinpoint landing. Drone ship stability. The ship itself is moving, requiring SpaceX to employ advanced thruster systems to keep it in position. Despite these challenges, SpaceX has maintained an impressive landing success rate, proving the reliability of its technology and paving the way for even more ambitious missions. What's next for SpaceX? Following this historic mission, SpaceX is expected to further refine its recovery operations in the Atlantic. The Bahamas could become a regular landing zone, allowing for more efficient booster turnarounds and higher launch frequencies. Upcoming SpaceX missions to watch. Starship test flights. The fully reusable Starship rocket, intended for Mars missions, will undergo further testing in 2025. Polaris Dawn mission, a private spaceflight mission to test human endurance in space. Lunar missions. SpaceX is preparing for upcoming moon landings as part of NASA's Artemis program. With its relentless pace of innovation, SpaceX is inching closer to a future where space travel is not just for astronauts but for humanity as a whole. Conclusion. A new era of spaceflight begins. The successful landing of a Falcon 9 rocket off the coast of the Bahamas represents more than just a technical achievement, it's a sign of the future of commercial space travel. By expanding its recovery capabilities and launching more satellites into orbit, SpaceX is revolutionizing the way we access space and the internet. As the company continues to push the boundaries of what's possible, this historic milestone will be remembered as a key moment in the journey toward making spaceflight routine, affordable, and accessible to all. With each successful mission, SpaceX is proving that the dream of a multiplanetary future is closer than ever.